Okay. Thank you all for being here and good evening. I know we have our community watching us now on Facebook Live as we update our community on a shooting incident that occurred at Target this evening. At 6:00 p.m., our emergency communication center began to receive 911 calls about active shooting in the parking lot where many patrons were starting to duck for cover around their vehicles. Of course, when you receive that information, there's a massive response from our police officers, and they quickly responded to the scene. Additionally, we had 2 officers off duty eating at Red Robin nearby, and they also were able to respond to the scene. Thankfully, we have not found anyone who was injured in this incident. In very preliminary info, what we discovered was a family, husband and wife from Smyrna, traveled to the Target parking lot to sell a firearm to someone that they met online through an online marketplace. While the husband, an adult male, was outside of his vehicle meeting the person to sell this firearm, he was ambushed by another person who began to shoot at him. He was not hit by any of the gunfire. There was a struggle. He ran back to his vehicle and grabbed a firearm and then began to shoot at the suspects who were shooting at him. The suspects fled. They fled in a vehicle, and our license plate recognition system did capture that vehicle and the tag. And we continue to follow leads related to everything on this incident. Again, we're thankful that no one was injured. That vehicle is a vehicle out of Nashville, and our detectives now are working towards that direction to determine if we can find these suspects and who was responsible. We're thankful that the victim was not injured in this incident, but we're also going to do everything we can to pursue those suspects who are responsible for this. We do likely believe there are 3 individuals involved. One was driving the SUV. There was the individual who met the suspect acting as if he was going to buy that firearm, and then you have the suspect who opened fire on the victim. We constantly see a nexus where when crime is committed in our community by individuals or when our officers are doing proactive activity, the suspects in the criminal element always points back to Nashville. Our officers do amazing work in this community to keep this city safe, and they are constantly having to be proactive and diligent to keep this community safe. We're not supposed to have shootings in a community or shootings in a packed parking lot on a Friday evening where people are enjoying dinner and just trying to shop. But our officers work hard at it, and they work hard because they care about this city, and they're going to do everything they can to keep this city safe. You can look at the crime statistics, and Mount Juliet is surrounded on every border by high crime areas, and we are not immune to crime. But what we're going to do everything we can to keep the crime down and be proactive to keep it down, and crime is not going to be successful here. And again, we are thankful for our officers, their rapid response. The 2 officers who were off duty eating at Target, all they had on them was a badge and a gun, and they immediately responded to the gunfire to try to see if there was anything that they could do. With no ballistic vests, nothing. Just going and responding on foot, trying to help while their families remained in Red Robin, just huddled down as a bullet went through the window of Red Robin. And that's why we have 2 crime scenes out here. Red Robin is a crime scene because a bullet went through the window, and of course Target parking lot is a crime scene as well. And just to wrap up, you have a family that traveled from Smyrna to our Target parking lot to sell a firearm. It was a rip. It was an attempted robbery. Shots were fired between both parties, and then one party fled the scene. I'll take some questions.
A lot of towns and cities now are doing where they have at the police stations place that they can trade when they sell things on Marketplace. First question, does Mount Juliet have something like that? And then do you have any tips for people that are trading things on Marketplace?
Yeah, great question. The question was about, do we have any safe spot to sell items to people that you meet online? And absolutely. This is a common thing where criminals are trying to rob people when they meet people online, and this is a lesson in that. And many police departments throughout the mid-state and our community have these parking spots in their police department parking lots that is under bright lights and also under surveillance. I would encourage anyone, if you're trying to sell something online and meet someone who is a stranger, go to that safe spot at your local police department to do that transaction. And if someone's not going to meet you at a police department, it's likely bad news and you want to stay away from it. Any other questions? All good?
I just wanted to verify there's 2 suspects in custody, right? Correct.
No, sir. Our victim. We have our victim remained on the scene. The suspects involved with the robbery group, they are not in custody.
Okay. Thank you.
Justin, you good? Okay. Thank you all. Have a good night.